Immediately after being told by his son that someone was outside the door, the hallway light turns on by itself. Then, as soon as both are out of the room, the door to the bathroom closes on its own. It was only after watching the video that the father had noticed this and was left even more disturbed. As with most viewers, the father believes that something paranormal had occurred. But of course, this is solely speculative, as not much info is given to determine what exactly happened. If they were the only ones home when this happened, then who, or maybe even what, had turned on the light and closed the bathroom door? Until a follow-up video is made to explain this odd occurrence, it seems that this question will remain unanswered. As always, what are your thoughts?
The footage begins with a girl sitting alone on the staircase, absorbed in her phone, oblivious to the creeping tension around her. Behind her, a shoe rack starts to shift. Barely at first, then more violently. Yet she dismisses the noise, unaware she's being watched. A slender flicker across her vision, vanishing when she looks up. She stands, pretends nothing is wrong, places things back in order, and sits again. But the room refuses to stay still. Objects slide, and the cylinder begins to rattle, as if pushed by invisible hands. Still, she remains, oddly calm, as though something has dulled her fear, or perhaps warned her not to react. Then a child's cart begins to move backwards on its own, and the bed suddenly jolts forward with force, a violent warning from something unseen. She restores everything again, as if trying to reset reality. But the house seems to pulse with something dark and ancient, unwilling to let her ignore it. And then it happens. From the corner when the things that were thrown were settled back by her, her face drains of color as she hears some horrifying voice. and she runs as the humanoid figure creeps forward only for a breath, a flicker of white in the darkness before vanishing into the shadows. The video ends here, but the questions don't. Darkness conceals countless mysteries. This is just one of them. One fleeting moment, one heartbeat skipped, and it was gone. Some nightmares don't fade with the morning light. They linger, waiting. Look closely. Every detail matters. Miss it, and you'll never know the truth. This is more than just a story. It's a warning.
Alvin. Funny anymore, man. Dude. Alvin. Shit ain't funny, man. Alvin.
As soon as Marvin heads back inside after checking the garage, a loud thump is heard inside the house. It isn't until seconds later that the light fixture is seen swing back and forth on its own, as though someone had swung it lightly. And of course, as anyone would, Marvin runs away and heads back to his room where the video comes to an end. It goes without saying, but this incident has left him shook. It wasn't until noticing that his housemate was gone that he came to realize that this wasn't a prank, but rather one of many strange occurrences that have taken place in his home. However, as if what occurred that night wasn't chilling enough, Marvin had caught footage of something else that has left him even more disturbed. What was supposed to be a video of him showing off a neat feature he discovered on his motion sensing gaming device turned out to be a video of something else entirely. Take a look.
Hey you guys, I just wanted to show you guys a pretty quick feature of the Xbox One and its Kinect. It actually has a pretty cool night vision that I just found today. If you guys already know it has night vision, then I'm gonna show the people who don't know. So right now it's completely dark in this house right now. All you can basically see is my Xbox One controller. Now I'm gonna switch on the night vision for you guys. As you can see, it lights up the whole room. It's actually a pretty cool feature. I don't know if they have an app for this or whatnot, but they also have this version of the camera. I don't know what it is. I think it's either infrared or something like that. And then back to dark. As you can see, all you can see is my Xbox controller. And then back to night vision. It's actually, pretty cool feature for the Xbox Kinect that I haven't really heard of until now. Maybe they have an app for it or something like that. But yeah, thanks for watching.
Right when Marvin turns off the lights and activates night vision mode on the sensor, two shadow-like figures can be seen manifesting behind him in what appears to be the kitchen. The first one is seen moving about for just a few seconds before heading downwards and then disappearing, whereas the other shadow appears afterwards and vanishes soon after night vision mode is turned back on. It's obvious that he hadn't noticed this until rewatching the footage, and, as you might expect, it was after watching it that he couldn't help but think that something unexplainable was caught on camera. Now, most viewers seem to believe that a ghost or an entity of some kind was caught on film. But like with most videos, we can't be sure if that's the case. As always, It's up to you to conclude as to whether or not a ghost was caught on camera. Until more evidence or context is given on the situation, Marvin's case remains a mystery.
YouTube channel shared a surveillance clip taken from inside a hotel in Bangkok. The footage captured a quiet moment on a balcony where a couple was seen relaxing in a private pool, overlooking a stunning cityscape. At first, everything appeared calm and carefree, but before long, an unidentified man seated near the pool began to react, his body language shifting as if he had picked up on something unusual in the atmosphere. A subtle unease seemed to settle over the scene, hinting that something wasn't quite right. He quickly picked up on something odd. An uneasy energy seemed to fill the air. Within moments, the couple noticed it too. The water in the pool had begun to shift. At first it was subtle, but then the movement intensified rapidly. The man instinctively reached for the pool's edge, sensing that something was seriously wrong. The water surged back and forth with alarming force, sloshing toward the building before pulling away and spilling toward the ledge. It looked as though the entire structure was trembling, almost as if some invisible force was trying to drain the pool completely. That's when it clicked. This wasn't just a strange occurrence. It was an earthquake. Panic set in. The couple rushed out of the water, and others on the balcony scattered, trying to get to safety. But just as the chaos escalated, the footage cut off. No warning, no resolution. There's been no confirmation since on whether the quake subsided or if anyone was hurt. The video simply ends, leaving behind a chilling glimpse of a moment that nearly turned tragic. Just when everything seemed perfectly ordinary, reality took a sharp, unforgiving turn. The shift was sudden, impossible to predict, impossible to ignore. What happens next will change everything, unraveling the familiar and plunging straight into the unknown. Stay tuned. Hold on to something tight. This is only the beginning.